Hi guys, it's Ray, and this is another sort of mini haul. A bit, yeah, it's a haul. There's books I bought in this lot. Um, this is yeah. After not long after I made the last video, I actually went to Waterstones and bought a book. Um, so I was like, I'm gonna leave it a bit because if I do a video like straight after, it's going to look a bit ridiculous. So I sort of left it, and then um and I decided to do now since I've got some one library book as well. I did have another one that I took back today, so I don't have that, but I do have the other one, which I'll show you now because I'm holding it. And this is Joanna Trollope's rewrite of Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, which obviously, if you saw the massive like half an hour video that I posted last week, earlier this week, I don't remember what it was, showing all the Jane Austen related books that I have. This should come as no surprise that I borrowed this. I borrowed this yesterday. I read it all yesterday. I don't know, somehow I blazed through 410 pages in mere hours. Um, but as rewrites kind of like go of Jane Austen books, like this has been, I think, one of the best ones that I've read because it's sort of kind of moved everything up to kind of like modern times and but still kept kind of the essence of what all the characters like are and like sort of who they are and the sort of the fun play of just their interactions and relationships that's just so Austen really and like sort of some of the things that bother them in Austen's time, like the whole kind of worry about money and stuff, although obviously in a massively inflated way for nowadays because everything's so much more expensive and um I, and stuff like that and then there's like the whole sort of boy drama that's like been updated and it's done really well in the sort of sense of it doesn't feel doesn't smack you with its modernity, but it still has those kind of classic kind of Austen-y feel to it, and I really quite like. Although I hate the Steele sisters, I loathe Lucy Steele, and Nancy is just a crazy, annoying person. But I like in here, Joanna's made her basically one of those girls that goes around using unironically just saying, "Oh yeah, totes maize balls," and we are most deaf going out to this party, and it's so beaut and all that kind of horrendous sort of that you just want to like. I can't take someone grown ass woman seriously who's using all that kind of stuff unironically. I'll say amazeballs, and I'm usually meaning it well semi ironically, but because I've got in my head the picture of one of the adaptations um that has Nancy Steele being played with a really broad kind of Devonshire accent, and that is sort of like that kind of effect is done by Joanna, which is pretty awesome. And since there's a whole project going on of rewrites of all of Jane Austen's by various different authors, I'll be very interested to because I can't remember who's doing the Pride and Prejudice one, but I'll be very interested to read that, and maybe I'll have to add those to my collection. Maybe I don't know. Probably gonna happen. But these other three books that I got from Waterstones. I was at the weekend because I went to into Derby to go and see How to Train Your Dragon 2, which although it's not out in the UK till like the 14th of July, there will happen to be showings that we could went to see, which is amazing. And it's so good. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon is amazing. The second film is somehow just as awesome, if not slightly more awesome, because hello, Hiccup, you got hit with another long bottom stick, didn't you? Quite amazing. But yes, I popped into Woodson because I was like, I need to get two more books for my YALC readathon pile, which was mostly comprised of books I already owned. So I thought I need some extra ones. So I got Trouble by Non Pratt, and I also got Say Her Name by James Dawson, because I've heard amazing things about this and awesome things about James Dawson, and like because his book Cruel Summer that came out last year or something was Jess really liked, and this is about Bloody Mary, so that's going to be one to read with the lights on, just to make sure I don't completely shit myself up, because that kind of stuff will just mess me up. But yeah, really looking forward to those two for the readathon next week. And also got this Louder Than Words by Laura Jarrett, which I saw, and it was like looked about the fact that this main character hasn't spoken a word to anyone since she was 6, and just physically can't. And that sort of as an idea was really interesting to me. And but the fact that the book wasn't just about that, it was kind of like about looking at sort of her relationships with her brother and her mother, and her sort of friendship that she gains with a girl who they sort of hear of by some kind of horrendous, scandalous rumour before they actually meet her, which is a pretty awkward way to start a friendship in any case. But sort of, that it gets on sort of kind of like politics as well, and is just generally a lot more than just this girl can't talk, and really interesting, and I really enjoyed this, and I might have to look for some of Laura's other books because it was very good. And I'm also really enamoured of this cover because it's really striking, and the eyes are really striking, and I really like pretty eyes on things, so yeah, I'd recommend that. And the other book that I got like borrowed earlier the week from the school library was called The Name on Your Wrist by Helen Humes. I think that's how you say it. I hope it's how you say it. Basically, that I read, finished that yesterday possibly, and that was a sort of, it's like a dystopia kind of novel we're set in England sometime in like a few hundred so years in the future, where humans have obviously messed things up quite considerably. Everything's got to a sort of peak where we've had to go, okay, stop, we need to sort this out and instigate true child rule, and like can generally get a bit more controlling of things. But everyone then sort of starts having like the name of their sort of soulmate on their wrists that appear when they're like 3, but then they have to wear wrist guards all the time so no one else knows, because you're not supposed to tell anyone who your copy nomen is, which I'm assuming is this. There are some like Latin terms for things, and I'm assuming copy nomen is like kind of, because since copy diem is seize the day, so the copy nomen is something like seize the name. I don't know. It's a strange kind of thing. But the main character, Karen, has obviously got quite an unusual name, and for some reason she's dating various guys called Tom, or Thomas, or Thomas, without a H, and they're not her soulmate. Like, she knows that, but she's doing it anyway. And her whole sort of family dynamic is really strange and kind of volatile, and because something happened to her sister a few years ago, and their dad died in a freak car accident, because you're technically not supposed to have car accidents, but that kind of happened. So it's like the characters are not sort of overtly likable. The fact you're sort of going, you're a bit rude, you're a bit abrasive, but I'm intrigued by your sort of cynicism and your just slightly anarchic approach to life. And it was a really interesting story, and a really interesting kind of look at sort of how it doesn't come about, like it gets explained until really near the end why how the whole name on the wrist thing came about. And it's a sort of quite an interesting idea, and it was a good book. It was I don't know if it's something that would have been online, like an ebook first, and then got published, because it had something on the back that it won some kind of award, and it was chosen by Mallory Blackman, which is obviously it's a pretty good indictment. I don't know if that's the word that I mean. I don't know, but yeah, good. So that's like books that I've acquired over the last recent bit of time, and some I've obviously read some already. But this is now really long, and I'm sorry, so I'm gonna stop. And I'm gonna do something. I don't know. Might do. I don't know if we'll do videos next week for about for the YLC, or if I'll just do readable thing, or if I'll just do blog posts. Who knows? We'll find out.